This is the phrase-by-phrase tutorial for the B part of the Knockdhu Reel by Ian Hardy. If you haven't already checked out the A part tutorial, you probably want to go there first and then come back here and we'll hit the B part together. If you're a cellist and you're looking for this sort of thing, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications, and also visit groovecelloacademy.com and check out the resources we have available for you there. This is a play-along tutorial, so you also grab your cello. We're going to get a few repetitions of each phrase so you can get this under your fingers right now. The official way to handle this is up an octave from the A part. So up here, that's going to kind of track with the treble clef chart if you download that from Ian's site. We're also going to work out a little bit of a melody modification that's going to have us down in a lower octave if that's just not friendly for you. But we'll start here in the upper octave on the A string. So right on the downbeat of the B part, the first phrase is this. Okay, really feels like two short phrases, right? So let's take a look at the first one as a chunk. Right, that's open A. I use a harmonic A, open G, open A, right? Okay, let's try that together. 2, 3, 4. Right, might be a good idea to try starting up bow as well. And you can design bowings around that as well. I recommend going ahead and starting down bow. And leave off there, and then we can grab our E. Either here, first finger E, or possibly a little more efficient, grab a fourth finger. Right, so let's try that from that E. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down to a G, right? One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's extending back for a C natural, right? Because we're in A minor. Let's put that together with the first chunk. Here, from here. 1, 2, 3, and go. Great. Again. 2, 3, 4. Nice. Okay, now you'll recognize this next chunk from the A part, right? It finishes out a little differently in this first line of the B part. Check this out. Okay, so we get down to that big open G-D chord, right? That's a dotted quarter, so up bow, then slur E to G. That open A is the downbeat of the second line of our B part. So let's take that together. I'm going to count 3, 4, 1. So here we go. 3, 4, 1. Chord. Slur. Great. We should end up on a down bow on that open A again. Let's try that again. Down bow on the B here to start. 3, 4, 1. Great, and we've actually learned most of the B part already. So starting here on the second line, so this is like the third phrase of the B part, it's exactly like the first phrase. So together, 3, 4, 1. Great, and the final phrase, the fourth phrase, is just like the ending of the A part, which is wonderful. Okay, let's try that last line all together, taking the first phrase of the B part and the last phrase of the A part to create our final line of this tune. So from the open A, 2, 3, go. Slur. Great, and that ends us on beat 4, so we can, right, back to the A part. If we're going to repeat to the B part, we can, right, have a little bit of a breath before we repeat back to the B part. Let's try this whole B part all the way through like this before we build out our melody mod. Here we go. From the open A at the beginning of the B, 1, 2, together, and go. B. Chord. Great. Okay, that's the official version of the B part. Now to modify it into the lower octave to get a little friendlier or just a little more compact, right? This might benefit us in terms of speed, or if you're just a little less comfortable shifting up into these upper positions. So starting with a low A, right, which we could actually slur into just like we did getting into the A part. We're going to modifying instead of A, G, right, which is cumbersome with the double string crossings. We're just going to keep it on the A and D strings using an E for our lower note instead of the A. And then a D before our E on the second bar. So check this out. Yeah, and then instead of, we're going to play the same notes down an octave from E here down to open G, right? At that point, we're going to pop back up and play the second phrase exactly the same as before. Chord. Now, it's going to finish naturally to the open A. So we're going to treat this a little differently. We're going to tie across and then come in. Right. So let's slowly walk through this whole thing together and see if we can catch this, okay? So starting from a low A, here we go, 3, 4. Retake for a B on the down bow. Ready, go. Chord. You didn't catch that, we're going to go through it briefly, one phrase at a time. So from our A here, right, then our open A, this is the first phrase. Okay, let's try that together. Ready, go. Great, again, 2, 3, 4. Great, and then down E, let's explore this second phrase. 2 E's. If you started on a down and you keep all separate bows, you'll end up bow on that low G, which is great. So, because you can grab the B up here on a down bow. And then chord. We already did that phrase, I'm going to leave that one alone. On this A here, which starts on the downbeat, I like to use a flick to articulate beat 2. And then grab the E. Let's try that. So A. One more time together. Ready, go. Flick. Okay. If you haven't ever done a flick before or a tap, depending on what you want to call it, don't stress about it. You can also just hold that. It just doesn't mark that beat 2 for you. You just need to be cognizant of the fact that we're tying across that beat. Great, so we have this. Now we're going to start on the E again. Okay, same as before. And our final phrase, just like the end of the A part. Okay, one time now, all the way through the B part as modified for our lower octave. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. E. B. Now, what's really great about having modifications for our melody is that we can change them up. So if you're comfortable with both of these versions, then you can really use them to create arc in your arrangement. See the demo for this tune in the separate video linked in the description here. But now you can put together this entire tune, and I'll see you in the next video. We'll talk about ornamentation, and then eventually we'll talk about chord backups. See you there. Cheers.